This Sunday, when you go and sit in your mega church in your brand new Easter dress that you spend a lot of money on so that you'll impress other people,
Well, it sounds like you're just jealous of how impressive I'm gonna look.
you're not worshiping the resurrection of Jesus.
Of course we aren't. We're worshiping Jesus, not the resurrection of Jesus, which doesn't make any sense.
You are participating in the pagan ritual and festival of Easter and the worship of the god Ishtar.
There is not a scrap of evidence the Easter celebration is a stolen pagan holiday that originally honored the goddess Ishtar. Most people around the world actually call Easter Pascha because it derives from the word for Passover. The reason we in the English-speaking world call it Easter is because when Christians moved into Germanic regions, they started calling the Pascha after the month it fell in, which was Eostromanoth, so they called it the Easter Festival.
The fertility god, who is aligned with the god Moloch.
Okay, first off, Ishtar was a goddess, and there is no evidence she was ever associated with Molech, who's only mentioned in the Hebrew Bible.
Put eggs in their blood and sacrifice that to their god.
Now you're just making things up.
Jesus, his resurrection does not change dates like the Easter holiday. It was actually in the Israel calendar Nisan 17, which translates to April 5th for us.
The Jewish calendar is a lunar solar calendar, so the dates change every year. Nisan 17 does not always fall on April 5th. The reason the date of Easter or Pascha changes from year to year is not because of paganism. At the Council of Nicaea, our early Christian leaders wanted a standardized way for all Christians to celebrate Easter. So they decided that Easter will fall on the first Sunday after the first full moon of the spring equinox, and that's why the date of Easter changes from year to year.
Shalom, Akim. First off, I want to give all honor, all glory, all praises to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Makakwadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles, prophets, and teachers for teaching us this truth. Also want to say shalom to the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi's elect, the 144,000 men, and the large great multitude of men, women, and children, the 1/3 of whom you have mercy on in these last days. Now, I did attach a video to the beginning of this, and I will be disputing pretty much everything he said that I can remember anyway. But they're talking about how Easter and it's not associated with Ishtar and all this other nonsense, and the quote-unquote Council of Nicaea actually changed the day that you're supposed to celebrate quote-unquote Easter, which they say go back to the Passover, but that's bullshit, and I will prove that. So let's actually go to the one time that Easter is actually mentioned in the Bible, and it's Acts chapter 12, verse 4. And you know, it's only in the King James Version. I looked at every translation, and every other translation I found in here says the Passover, public trial after the Passover for the NLT. The New King James Version actually says Passover. Yeah, so it says Pesach in the NHV. So the only one version of the Bible doesn't really say Easter. And we can go into the word here. It is Pesach, or Pashak, or Pasha, or however you say it.
Strong's G 3957. Pascha. Pascha.
Pascha. And then you see the Paschal Supper, Paschal Feast, Feast of Passover, right? Passover. Strong's definition. The Passover, really. So it really goes into the Passover. So, how do you celebrate the Passover? Which Passover and Easter have nothing to do with each other. Let's go ahead and hit Exodus, the 12th chapter. All right. And then you give you some of these precepts. And you actually are supposed to celebrate Passover. And then the week after Passover is unleavened bread, Which if you're just celebrating Easter, you're not celebrating unleavened bread, because it's a whole week after Passover is done that you celebrate unleavened bread. And unleavened bread is, a week. So let's just start at Exodus chapter 12, starting at verse 1. And Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. And then you go into the whole how to keep the Passover thing. This is the Passover dinner. And then the Numbers 9 and 1. And Yahawah spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the first month of the second year, after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, Let the children of Israel also keep the Passover at his appointed season in the 14th day of this month. At even ye shall keep it in his appointed season, according to all the rites of it, and according to all the ceremonies thereof shall ye keep it. And Moses spake unto the children of Israel that they should keep the Passover. And they kept the Passover on the 14th day of the first month at even in the wilderness of Sinai, according to all that Yahawah commanded Moses. So did the children of Israel. And there were certain men who were defiled by the dead body of a man, and they could not keep the Passover on that day. And they came before Moses and before Aaron on that day. And those men said unto him, We are defiled by the dead body of a man, wherefore are we kept back, that we may not offer an offering to Yahawah in his appointed season among the children of Israel. And Moses said unto them, Stand still, and I will hear what Yahawah will command concerning you. So there's certain ways that you keep the Passover, and it's definitely not how you keep Easter. So let's go to Deuteronomy 16 and 1. Observe the month of Abib, and keep the Passover unto Yahawah thy power. For in the month of Abib, Yahawah thy power brought thee out forth out of Egypt by night. Thou shalt therefore sacrifice the Passover unto Yahawah thy power of the flock and the herd in the place which Yahawah shall choose to place his name there. Thou shalt eat no leavened bread with it. 7 days shalt thou eat unleavened bread therewith, even the bread of affliction. For thou camest forth out of the land of Egypt in haste, that thou mayest remember the day when thou camest forth out of the land of Egypt all the days of thy life. And there shall be no leavened bread seen with thee in all thy coasts 7 days, neither shall there anything of the flesh which thou sacrificed the first day at even remain all night until the morning. Thou mayest not sacrifice the Passover within any of thy gates, which Yahawah thy power giveth thee, but at the place which Yahawah thy power shall choose to place his name in, there thou shalt sacrifice the Passover at even, at the going down of the sun, at the season that thou camest forth out of Egypt. And thou shalt roast and eat it in the place where Yahawah thy power shall choose, and thou shalt turn in the morning and go into thy tents. 6 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread, and on the 7th day shall be a solemn assembly to Yahawah thy power. Thou shalt do no work therein. So we know that 14th day falls upon a full moon Shabbat, and 7 days after that would be 3/4 moon Shabbat. Yeah, 3/4 moon Shabbat. So it starts at a Shabbat and ends at a Shabbat. So I mean, even if you just said, "Oh, I'm going to celebrate Easter," what about unleavened bread? I mean, you're supposed to celebrate that after, quote unquote, Easter. And then you have Ezekiel 45 and 21. And the first month, in the 14th day of the month, you shall have the Passover, a feast of 7 days. Unleavened bread shall be eaten. And upon that day shall the prince prepare for himself and for all the people of the land a bullock for a sin offering. In 7 days of the feast he shall prepare a burnt offering to Yahawah, 7 bullocks and 7 rams without blemish daily the 7 days, and a kid of the goats daily for a sin offering. He shall prepare a meat offering for a ephah for a bullock, and an ephah for a ram, and a hin of an oil for an ephah. In the 7th month of the 15th day of the month shall ye do no like in the feast of the 7 days, according to the sin offering, according to the burnt offering, according to the meat offering, according to the oil. So, you need to get out of Christianity. It doesn't follow the Bible at all. And I will attach some actual things that I found, which is a simple Google search, which is wicked Google is. This is a take a simple Google search to know that Ishtar and some of these other gods are different by name, but only by name only. They're pretty much the same gods, but just different names. So, I hope this is edifying. I'll say shalom.